Hey, what's up guys, it's Kazooie here, and welcome to another squad builder on FIFA 15, and today I've got a silver skill squad for you guys with a bunch of 5-star skillers in the 4-5-1 formation. So yeah, we start off in goal. We do have the goalkeeper Hennessey, plays in the Barclays Premier League for Crystal Palace. He's 6'6", has 50 speed, and all his other stats are really decent, and he has been really solid for me, so I would definitely recommend him if you like to build a silver squad and maybe use a Premier League goalkeeper. Then the first centre back is yours Okore from Aston Villa with 81 pace, 70 defending and 83 physical, and on top of that also high defensive work rate. He was an amazing player for me, and I actually used him last year as well, and he was quite disappointing, but this year he's really good, so I would definitely recommend him as well. Then alongside him we have Vergini there from Sunderland with also high defensive work rates. He's actually 6'3", which means he wins most of the headers when I have to defend them, but apart from that he was also really solid for me. Then on the right back we do have a player there from the Liga Portuguesa, that is Opare with 90 pace, 67 defending, 70 dribbling and 75 physical. If you look at his defending stats, like, they're not really the best, but I think his 90 pace, especially his 90 pace, make up for that, because he's a really good player when it comes to catching up other players, since he's that fast. And on the left back we do have Richardson there from Aston Villa. Once again, he looks like a really awesome player, especially as a centre mid or something, because as you can see from his stats, pretty much all of his stats are over in the 70s. He's a left back though, but his shooting is also really good, so you could maybe even try to score a free kick or a long shot with him. Then we move on to the centre mid, that is Britcott, and he was probably one of the players that I didn't really expect much from, because if you look at his stats, like, he has decent defending stats, but 69 pace, 74 shooting isn't really the greatest for a centre mid, and his shooting is pretty terrible, I guess, but his pace felt actually way higher. It felt like mid 70s or maybe even the 80s. So yeah, he's definitely a player that surprised me in a good way. Then we move on to the right mid, that is KELVIN, of course, with 5-star skill moves, 82 pace and 82 dribbling. He only scored 2 goals for me in 13 games, which seems actually really bad, but he had a lot of chances. Unfortunately, his finishing is pretty poor, so yeah, mainly because of that I didn't really score that many goals. But yeah, there's also a different player that you could use on the right hand side, that is Wellington Silva, although if you like to use him you have to use a different right back as well. That is, I think, Cicinho, plays for Sevilla, also in the Liga BBVA, so that is also an option, but I think it's a little bit more expensive, and he's also right-footed instead of left-footed, just like KELVIN. Then we move on to the left mid, that is Shikabala from Sporting Lisbon, and he's seriously one of my favorite 5-star skillers this year on Ultimate Team. He's just so fun, and I don't know what it is, but his 80 pace just feels way higher. It definitely feels that up in the 90s, because he's so rapid when I try to pull off skill moves with him and just dribbling in general. But yeah, I did use Shikabala as a left mid, which I think isn't really his greatest position, because I've used him as a left winger and a left forward, and he got a lot more goals for me. So if you like to build a squad around just Shikabala, then I would definitely go with a formation with wingers instead of a left mid and a right mid. Then we move on to the first centre attacking mid, that is also another player there from Sporting Lisbon, that is Galt, 66 rated. He doesn't really have the greatest stats, but he does have 5-star weak foot, which is nice. But yeah, if you look at his other stats, apart from his 86 pace, of course, he doesn't really look like the greatest player. So yeah, he's mainly there for chemistry reasons. Then we move on to the other centre attacking mid, that is of course Gary MACKAY-STEVEN. He is a centre attacking mid this year instead of a left winger like he was last year, or a left mid, and he's actually a lot better. At least that's what I felt when I played with him. I'm not really too sure if his stats got upgraded or maybe even downgraded. I'm not really too sure about that, but I do know that his overall rating got downgraded from a 72 to a 70, but that is probably because of the position change, and he was actually one of my favorite 5-star skillers last year, so I could probably say the same this year, since I really do like him, even though his position has changed. I did play him as a cam. You could probably use him as a centre forward as well, or maybe even as a striker, and I'm sure he will do a good job, because his finishing is also really on point. I had a lot of chances with him. I think most of the chances either hit the post or just went into the back of the net, and also just skilling with him, just getting past players. He isn't really the weakest, so you could dribble past players with ease, I guess, and also his pace is really good. It's just more than enough in my opinion. Then we move on to the striker, and you probably saw this coming already. That is Sifchi, also plays for Dundee United in the Scottish League, has 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. He is 68 rated with 83 pace, 74 physical and a 68 shooting, and that 68 shooting is just an absolute lie, like his overall rating as well. I just don't understand how this guy is just that low rated and just plays really amazing. Like, when I play with him, he definitely feels like a maybe high rated silver, or maybe even as a low rated gold. I don't know what it is. He's just so fun to play with. He's definitely a player I would recommend to you guys, and he's definitely a hidden gem, if you could call it like that. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, yes, I think 68 shooting and also 69 finishing, which is just an absolute lie. Like, his shooting is on point every single time when I shoot with him, just like with MACKAY-STEVEN. I think I got 8 goals with him in 13 games, which is pretty decent, especially if you know that most of the goals are skill goals. But yeah, his dribbling is also really on point. I did beat the goalkeeper a couple times. That goal would have been really awesome if I maybe finished it off with a nice flare shot or something. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much this team. If you like to know the price and stuff from all the players and just the whole squad in general, then of course will be a link in the description down below to a affiliate link, so you can check it out. Then we move on to the final goal, which is actually a pretty fun goal, because my opponent actually ends up rage quitting after I was 3-1 up. We did score 4-1, actually got a red card as well, and as you can see right there, my opponent decided to rage quit. So you know what this team is capable of. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, would be very much appreciated. And if you can hit 1,500 likes, that would be absolutely awesome. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.